Call to order, Town of Prescott Valley regular town council meeting, September 25th, 2025. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Lopez.
Present.
Councilmember Keel. Councilmember Freund. Councilmember Greer.
Here.
Councilmember Schumacher.
Present.
Vice Mayor Zurcher.
Here.
Mayor Paul Guda.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you, ma'am. At this time, I'd like to welcome down Pastor Cheetah Olson with One Church and she's also our PBPD chaplain. Welcome, ma'am. Please stand for our invocation.
Thank you, everyone. I wanted to just share these scriptures this evening and pray this over our community. May the Lord protect us all from evil. May the Lord guard our going out and our coming in from this time and forever. Lord, we recognize you tonight as the source of all wisdom and knowledge, and that your ways are higher and better than our own human understanding. So this evening, I ask that you would pour out your wisdom. May the God of hope fill us with all joy and peace in believing, so that we will abound in hope by the power of the Holy Spirit. And finally, tonight, I would just say, the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you, and may he be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon us and give us peace. Amen.
Now for the pledge.
For the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag and to the republic, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Thank you, ma'am. Can I please get approval for the agenda? Can
So moved.
I have a second?
Second.
Clerk, please call the vote.
Mayor Paul Guda.
Yes?
Councilmember Greer. Councilmember Zurcher.
Yes.
Councilmember Freund. That passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Next up, proclamations, Code Compliance Specialist Appreciation Month.
Code Compliance Specialist Appreciation Month, October 2025. Whereas Code Compliance Specialists provide for safety and welfare of the citizens throughout the United States through the enforcement of local codes or ordinances facing various issues of building, zoning, housing, animal control, environmental, health, and life safety. And whereas the role of many code compliance specialists has expanded in recent years with the increased number of foreclosed abandoned homes in communities impacted economically. And whereas code compliance specialists are dedicated and highly qualified professionals who share the goals of preventing neighborhood deterioration, enhancing and ensuring safety, and preserving property values through knowledge and application of housing, zoning, and nuisance codes and ordinances. And whereas code compliance specialists often have a highly visible role in the communities they serve and regularly interact with a variety of state officials, county officials, first responders, legislative boards, commissions, agencies, and bodies. And whereas code compliance specialists are called upon to provide quality customer service and excellence to the residents and businesses of the communities in which they serve. And whereas the American Association of Code Enforcement wants to recognize and honor code compliance specialists and professionals across the United States and bring awareness to the importance of code compliance to the communities of the United States. And whereas the American Association of Code Enforcement was first established in 1988 for the purpose of providing ongoing training and support for code compliance professionals working in the United States. Now therefore, I, Cal Paul Guda, Mayor of the Town of Prescott Valley, do hereby proclaim October 2025 as Code Compliance Specialist Appreciation Month and call upon municipalities and communities to join in recognizing and expressing their appreciation for the dedication and service by the individuals who serve as our code compliance specialists. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor and members of council. This is our small and mighty code team, and I've just been learning exactly what they do over the last few months and how hard they work for our community. So I just want to give it up to them. They're just a great team, and they are doing a wonderful job for our community. Thank you.
Speech.
Let's go.
Perfect, thank you.
One more time for code. Next up, proclamation for Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
Domestic Violence Awareness Month, October 2025. Whereas domestic violence is a serious crime that affects people of all races, ages, gender, and income levels. Domestic violence is widespread and affects over 4 million Americans each year. At least 1 in 3 members of our community have witnessed an incident of domestic violence. And whereas children that grow up in violent homes are believed to be abused and neglected at a rate higher than the national average. And whereas domestic violence costs the nation billions of dollars annually in medical expenses, police and court costs, shelters, foster care, sick leave, absenteeism, and non-productivity. And whereas only a coordinated community effort would help put a stop to this heinous crime. And whereas Domestic Violence Awareness Month provides an excellent opportunity for our community to learn more about preventing domestic violence and to show support for the numerous organizations and individuals who provide critical advocacy, services, and assistance to victims. Now, therefore, I, Kel Paul Guda, Mayor of the Town of Prescott Valley, Arizona, do hereby proclaim the month of October as Domestic Violence Awareness Month and urge all of our citizens to work together with one goal in mind: to eliminate domestic violence from our community.
Yes, thank you. I just wanted to say something quickly. My name is Missy Sikora. I'm the Executive Director at the Yavapai Family Advocacy Center. We give services to victims of domestic violence and other types of interpersonal crime, elder abuse, child abuse, different things. But we really are focusing on domestic violence this month. And for all of you here, we will have our annual domestic violence awareness event. It will be held this coming Wednesday out in the Prescott Valley, or next Wednesday, I should say, out in the Prescott Valley Pavilion. It starts at 5:30. At 5:30. It's a wonderful, inspiring event. If you have the time and would like to come to it, there's a ton of resources there. Experts in our community that work at Stepping Stones and the Health Department and other agencies will be there. And there's some really incredible community leaders that will be speaking, and then a survivor speaker to tell her story and how just the support from our agencies, other agencies, and the community in general has really helped change her life and make things better. So aside from that, I also just want to say thank you to the Town of Prescott Valley. The Yavapai Family Advocacy Center has been serving all of Yavapai County for 25 years, and that's only because of partnership that we entered into with the town back in 2000, and we will be celebrating our 25-year anniversary on October 1st.
So you can get a different spot if you want. Next up, Student of the Month.
The Town of Prescott Valley, in collaboration with the Optimist Club of Yavapai County and Bradshaw Mountain High School, are honoring these two outstanding students for September. Welcome Annette Hernandez and Antonio Valenzuela. Sorry. Today, we recognize these students for their commitment to school and community engagement. Because of their hard work, they have been nominated by their school staff and instructors at BMHS. Congratulations. Now we want to hear from each of you. Can we start with Annette?
Thank you. I'd like to start by saying thank you to everyone who has helped me to get to this point in my life. Growing up, I was very quiet. High school for me was a fresh start. In my freshman year, I joined my first club, Interact. And for those of you who might not know, Interact is a community service club sponsored by Rotary. I realized then how rewarding it is to be a part of something bigger than yourself. Since then, I have joined about 12 clubs, become president of 2, joined the golf team, and for a brief moment was lucky enough to be part of the student council. All this while maintaining good grades and working a part-time job. Through my hard work, I found passion, purpose, a home, and best of all, hope for a better tomorrow. Through Bradshaw, I have grown to love the school and community of Prescott Valley. I also am so grateful to be chosen for Student of the Month. Thank you again for this opportunity.
Antonio?
First off, I want to say I'm very grateful for this opportunity, and I'm grateful to be chosen as Student of the Month. At Bradshaw, I am a senior and I play varsity football. I try my best to maintain good grades and help those around me. I try to stay true to my morals and just be a good person all around. And once again, thank you for those who gave me this honor.
Richard Bradshaw, Principal.
Well, thank you, Mayor Palguda, Town Council, and Mike from Optimus for having us back another year, celebrating our wonderful students. As you see, they're both very busy. Antonio just got out of football practice, and he made it just in time, so nice job. It was funny because Annette and I were talking the other day, and she was pretty nervous to come up here, so I'm proud of her. Nice job. So thank you again, and thank you, Mike.
And Mike Whiting from Optimist Club of Yapa County.
Well, this is always my favorite time of the month when we recognize our youth in the community, especially from Bradshaw Mountain High School. So we're very proud that you're here today. It's a very special, I think, recognition. You should feel that in your heart. Student of the Month is just one of the rewards as a result of your personal commitment at school and the hard work as part of your journey at Bradshaw Mountain High School. We know that this is the beginning of further achievements, personal growth through new opportunities, and hopefully this is just the beginning of a lot of new opportunities for you. We look forward to you pursuing your education and a career, and hopefully we'll see you here when you start your career. Keep our fingers crossed in Prescott Valley. Obviously, both of you are ready or you wouldn't be here today, so we're glad to have you here. We'd also like to recognize those who have supported Annette and Antonio, in addition to teachers, staff, faculty at Bradshaw Mountain High School, and that's Annette and Antonio's parents. So if the parents are here today, we'd like to have you just stand up so we can recognize you. So we're going to keep it brief, just like Antonio. It is with sincere pleasure that we congratulate you on behalf of the Optimist Club of Yavapai County, Bradshaw Mountain High School, and the town of Prescott Valley. So once again, congratulations, and we'd like to give you a little memento, and we'll ask the council person, Mike, give you your certificates. And I'll read the certificates. If you can hold them proudly in front of you, we would appreciate that, Antonio. The Optimist Club of Yavapai County, in partnership with Bradshaw Mountain High School and the town of Prescott Valley, certify to all that Annette Hernandez and Antonio Venezuela have been named Students of the Month for the month of September. Congratulations. And I am going to give you one other memento. It's all right, go ahead. I try to avoid them. One other memento is the Optimist Creed. That is, if you can live by the Optimist Creed, you'll be great human beings and very successful. Thank you for your contributions to our community.
Great job. Thanks, Mike. Next up, call to the public. At this time, members of the public may comment on matters listed on the agenda or solely on matters within the jurisdiction of the town. Any persons wishing to address the council must register their name with the town clerk prior to the commencement of the meeting. The council's response is limited to responding to criticism, asking staff to review a matter commented upon, or asking that a matter be put on a future agenda. Such remarks shall be limited to 3 minutes unless additional time is granted by the mayor. Clerk?
We have 5 registered this evening. The first 4 names are Alice Kinzel, Steve Caros, Chris Russo, and Steve Presetti.
Welcome, ma'am. Nope, not on yet. Is there a little button on top there, ma'am? There we go.
Thank you very much.
Welcome, ma'am.
Good evening, and thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much, Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members. Our purpose, and there are many of us here representing this particular issue, our purpose for appearing before you this evening is to ask the town of Prescott Valley to assume responsibility for the full maintenance of the flood control channel that I will further describe and that you have a map for. Every property owner has signed their support. We reside in the Viewpoint North HOA on the west side of the flood control channel that runs south to north. We're currently responsible for maintenance of the entire channel, from our back fence, which is a block wall, all the way to the fence of the residents on the other side of the channel. The flood control channel presents major issues affecting the listed property owners as well as the greater community. It's unfair that this maintenance task and related expenses are the responsibilities of property owners only on the west side of the channel. Storm drainage, water and miscellaneous debris from a culvert and a cul-de-sac on the north flow through our properties, leaving debris as well as creating erosion, which we clean up and pile rocks on. Property owners on the east side have runoff drains that run into the channel without any agreement or consideration from those on the west side. Maintaining this flood control channel is necessary many times annually at considerable expense to each individual property owner on the west side. What this results in is inconsistent.
Hang on a second, ma'am. Is that microphone? Can you guys hear that? Clerk, you can just turn her timer off. She can keep going. Now let's try this again, ma'am.
So, the point that I was making is
She's still not on. Ma'am, why don't we just have you come over to this one over here and let's just, everyone just ignore this podium for tonight.
no worries. Okay.
There we go.
So, further, the point. Considerable expense to each individual property owner on the west side of the channel, but more importantly, inconsistent and non-uniform maintenance of this channel. We do not have access to the channel. One old guy goes over on a ladder from side to side. Picture that. We must trespass to access property in the channel. Each property owner certainly could put in a gate and steps to access the channel at considerable expense, but this might be detrimental and actually impede the purpose of the channel and the flood water flow. An informal survey of other areas in Prescott Valley, both public and private, that have similar water runoff flood control areas are more typically managed by HOAs and developers. When homeowners are responsible, it is typically for ditches where the property is smaller and easily accessed.
Keep going, ma'am.
Thank you so much. While due diligence might have shown the responsibility related to maintenance, engineering interpretation of the plat book has recently been an issue. In conclusion, it is our belief that the channel not only serves the property owners indicated, but it benefits the entire community. To serve the best interests of Prescott Valley, there must be uniform maintenance. This channel should be part of the Prescott Valley's flood control system, and Prescott Valley should assume the responsibility for complete maintenance of this channel that ensures the safety of the entire community. It was just brought to my attention gratefully that there is an upcoming meeting to take a look at this, and all of us here really await the developments from that, and we thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, I believe there is a meeting scheduled next week, and I just want to commend you and your neighbors for coming to town council and using call to the public for what it was meant for you to come up, let us know what's happening out there, and then now staff's aware of it, and then they can hopefully address it. So thank you to you guys.
Steve Caros.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Steve Caros, Pronghorn Ranch. There's been a lot of concerned discussion amongst drivers, bicyclists, and pedestrians in Pronghorn Ranch and Viewpoint. Personally, I've been sharing in these discussions for over 5 years. All of us have been involved in or have witnessed numerous near misses at the T intersections along Antelope Meadows and Pronghorn Ranch, as well as 3 specific intersections, to wit, Antelope Meadows and Pronghorn Parkway, Antelope Meadows and Parkview, and Viewpoint and Parkview. Unfortunately, I am not concerned about the probability of a fatal accident occurring, but rather of yet another occurring. I've expressed my concerns verbally and in writing to Mr. Latier, town engineer, Mr. Murphy, traffic engineer, Mr. Davidson, town manager, with CCs to Mr. Legler, town attorney. Ironically, it was the grandson of Mr. Davidson's admin who was killed at Viewpoint and Parkview, just a few feet from the soccer field, where many, many children cross the intersection to get to. That wonderful young man was also my friend, and he did a lot of yard work for me. In my career in law enforcement, I have attended to a number of young people who lay dead or dying on the pavement. I held one such boy in my arms until the paramedics arrived to transport him to the hospital, where he then died. I did save the life of a young girl who was drowning in her own blood from severe head trauma. I've also participated in the aftermath of these tragedies, the grief and sorrow of parents and of innocent drivers, and of the subsequent court cases. Indeed, I am a court-qualified expert in traffic accident mitigation and investigation. I am also an expert in risk assessment and risk management. We have vision obscurement issues at virtually all of the T intersections along Antelope Meadows, where nearly all drivers drive past the stop signs, through the unmarked crosswalks, and past a drainage culvert to the edge of Antelope Meadows in order to see the oncoming traffic. People using the triple wide sidewalk are at constant risk of being hit. The solution to this is to paint in marked crosswalks, with the inside stripe serving the dual purpose of also being the limit line. The 3 intersections I mentioned absolutely need to be 4-way stops. Antelope Meadows at Pronghorn Parkway and at Parkview have extreme vision obscurement. Viewpoint and Parkway simply have too many children using the area, including that's where a bus stops. One young man made a mistake there, but that's what children do sometimes. His mistake may not have been a fatal one if this had been a 4-way stop. I'm asking the town to appropriately and properly address these clear and obvious hazards. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Chris Russo.
Welcome, sir.
I hope this rises to the level of something you can do something about, like you mentioned to that young lady. I just wanted to read some things I got here. Congress shall make no law respecting the establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging freedom of speech or the press or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Last town council meeting during the public art presentation, I was stunned to find out that any religious art is precluded from being displayed in our town. And that the so-called violation of the Establishment Clause in the Constitution uses that as an excuse. We all know the religion they're talking about is Christianity. You know those evil people wanting to spread the love of Jesus and what he did on the cross. We are told that a cross establishes a religion in whatever town or state it is displayed or on public property. To me and millions of other Americans that are Christians, it doesn't even rise to the level of implication, let alone an establishment. What I find ironic is is how far that statement is taken compared to the Second Amendment and its clear statement of our right to bear arms and it not being infringed upon, that it's somehow doesn't mean what it clearly says. Let's see. Picking and choosing which amendments say what they mean or don't mean is absurd. They mean what they say and they don't mean what they don't say. I hope SCOTUS decides, and I know this doesn't have anything to do with you guys, but I hope SCOTUS decides to do the right thing with the First Amendment like it did in the recent Second Amendment cases in Heller and Bruin as it relates to historical application and actual language to determine what these amendments mean. We all know SCOTUS met in churches before it actually had a building, and Congress likewise held meetings in churches. We all know that we were founded on Christian principles, and to think that a Christian symbol on public property is somehow established in religion is, again, absurd. I noticed the word culture was mentioned several times. What and whose culture are we using? Is that cowboy culture, Indian culture? Who knows? There are millions of Christians in America. Does that establish a culture? Does the fact that the majority of Christians are white establish a culture? Does the left and the media label the culture of as white supremacists, occupiers, the patriarchy, Nazis, fascists, and a whole host of other adjectives. And as a result, Christians are precluded from having a culture. My faith in Jesus is my culture. It shapes my worldview and how I look at politics and how I treat my fellow man. When Islam comes knocking on Prescott Valley's door, you can bet they'll set up their yodeling calls to prayer 3 times a day, where and wherever they want, or on or off public property, just like they do in Dearborn, Michigan, or Minneapolis, Minnesota. Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Russo. Clerk?
Steve Bracetti.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, Town Council members, and staff. Each year from September 15th to October 15th, our nation pauses to honor the generations of Hispanic and Latino Americans whose contributions have enriched every aspect of our society. Hispanic Heritage Month is more than a celebration. It is a tribute to resilience, traditions, and a forward-looking commitment to the future. This past weekend, the Hispanic Business Association, along with the Prescott Valley Police Department, hosted Puente de la Comunidad. This well-attended, culturally rich event showcased great community engagement. In fact, you can probably go on YouTube and see a clip of Chief Tizer and showcasing his dancing skills. Thank you, Vice Mayor Zurcher, for attending. At the Prescott Valley Chamber of Commerce, we cannot overlook the powerful economic contributions of Hispanic-owned businesses. These businesses are among the fastest growing, creating jobs, fueling innovation, and preserving cultural traditions in the marketplace. Here in our community, we have the privilege of seeing firsthand restaurants, service providers, construction companies, retail shops, and professional firms that not only build wealth, but also add depth and character to our local economy. Supporting these businesses are not just good for the economy, but it is also good for the soul of our great community. At the heart of it all are the enduring values that define Hispanic culture: faith, family, resilience, and a strong sense of community. These values do more than strengthen individual households. They create healthier neighborhoods, more vibrant civic institutions, and a deeper sense of connection that benefits us all. Hispanic Heritage Month is not only about looking back with gratitude, it is also about looking forward with purpose. It is about celebrating the contributions of today's leaders while creating pathways for tomorrow's. At the Prescott Valley Chamber, we remain committed to building bridges, supporting Hispanic-owned businesses, and fostering a community where opportunity is accessible to all. This month, I encourage you all to support a local Hispanic business or simply connect with a neighbor to learn more about their journey. Together, let us continue to honor the past, uplift the present, and invest in a stronger future. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Clerk,
Liz Kennedy.
welcome, ma'am.
Yes, thank you, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council and staff. I was recently down in the valley, a couple times at events, and there's a big flap about flock cameras. I guess Scottsdale is up in arms because there's been several accidents, and they were removed in Sedona. I Googled, does Prescott Valley have flock cameras? And we do. I would just like to know where they are and what they're used for. And also, I understand there was geocoding at our Red, White, and Boom. Isn't geocoding getting all our cell phones and finding out where we are? So just wondering what's going on. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And I believe if you go back about 6 months, we can probably get the study session and the council session meeting that you can watch and get all the details. And in the meantime, I'm sure the chief will be able to help you out in the back. Clerk?
No one else, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving on, council communications. I'll start on my right. Councilman? Vice Mayor?
I have one. This weekend is the Alpaca Farm Days, September 27th and 28th. There's 2 farms locally that are participating. One is Rancho 562 Alpacas. They're located at 8111 East Plum Creek Way. The other one is Heather Glen Alpacas, 8199 East Spur Lane. And they have new babies, so that's like usually a big thing if you want to bring your kids out. And so they say to come experience the fleece, and they're from 10 to 3, they're open. So I just wanted to let you know.
Councilwoman?
Saturday night on the Green is Movies on the Green, and it's wicked.
Mr. Davidson?
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, 2 things. I would like to introduce our interim development services director, Stacy Bristow. She's here with us tonight, and she is working closely with our development services team. And for everyone in the audience, our Harvest Festival is next weekend, October 4th, from 11 to 4 in the afternoon here at the Civic Center campus. Great family event, so bring family, friends. Most everything is free other than food, and so it's a good time to come out and enjoy the campus and in fall weather. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next up, item 9, consent agenda. All matters listed under consent agenda are considered routine by the town council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and be considered separately. Council, we've all had a chance to review our packet. If there's nothing to remove, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve all items listed under consent agenda by electronic vote.
I second.
Clerk, please call the vote.
Mayor Paul Guda,
Yes.
Councilmember Freund, Vice Mayor Zurcher.
Yes.
That passes unanimously.
Thank you, ma'am. Next up, old business. Item 10A, Amendment Town Code 2-04-060, Order of Business Ordinance Number 2025-961. Clerk, anything to add from last time?
I have nothing else to add, Mayor.
Council, have you any questions for the clerk? Seeing none?
Ordinance number 2025-961, an ordinance of the Mayor and Common Council of the Town of Prescott Valley, a municipal corporation of Arizona, amending Section 2-04-060, Order of Business, and Article 2-04, Council Procedure in Chapter 2, mayor and council to add a new line item, boards, commission, and committee appointments to the council meeting order of business, providing that all their chapters, articles, and section of the town code not herein amended shall remain in full force and effect, and providing that this ordinance to be effective 30 days after its passage and approval according to law.
Ma'am, shall this ordinance pass?
Second.
Councilmember Freund? That passes unanimously.
Thank you, ma'am. Next up, item 11A, Series 12 liquor license, Big H Barbecue, located at 171 Arizona Highway 69, Suite E. This is a public hearing. Ms. Greenwood?
Our office received a new application for a Series 12 restaurant liquor license for Big H Barbecue. In accordance with Arizona law, a notice of the application was displayed on the front of the premise for a period of 20 days. During this time, no public comments were received. Based on this, it's recommended that the town council forward a recommendation of approval of this application to the Arizona Department of Liquor License and Control.
Thank you, ma'am. And as I mentioned, this is a public hearing. Is anyone out in the audience wish to speak on this item? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Council, have any questions or comments from Ms. Greenwood? If none, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to recommend approval of the Series 12 liquor license on behalf of Big H Barbecue located at 171 Arizona State Route 69, Suite E, to the Arizona Department of Liquor License and Control.
I'll second.
That passes unanimously.
Thank you, ma'am. Next up, item 11B, proposed annexation, ANX 25-001, Yampa. This is discussion only and also a public hearing. I'll open it up right now. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council. Like you said, this is a public hearing only for annexation 25-001. It's a requirement by state statute. Here's a, oh, God, looks like a wrong word here, but that's all right. This site is west of 5th Street, north of Bain Park, across 5th Street from the VFW and the Moose Lodge. This is a timeline of things that are required by state statute. We had to file a blank petition that the county holds for 30 days. Now we're here for a public hearing per state statute. And then next meeting, October 9th, we will have the first read of annexation. And if all things go well, on October 23rd, we will have the second read of the annexation. And then this is just a quick site plan of what they're looking at doing there. It's actually, Yampa is just north of the property, and they're looking at annex to expand their business currently. That's it.
Sir, do you know the size of the building and what they plan on adding in regards to employees?
20,000 square feet, and I believe it's about 50 employees.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. As I mentioned, this is a public hearing. Anyone out there wish to speak on this item? Seeing none, I'll close that. Anything else for Norlock? Sir, seeing none, thank you. Moving on, item 11C, ZOA 25-002, amending town code marijuana delivery ordinance number 2025-962. This is also a public hearing, which I'll be opening up.
Thank you, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council. This is a zoning ordinance amendment regarding marijuana delivery. The request is to amend Town Code Section 13-08-040 to allow for delivery of marijuana and marijuana products within town boundaries. Brief timeline: in 2010, Prop 203 legalized medical marijuana and allowed for medical marijuana delivery. Arizona municipalities began to amend local ordinances and codes to allow for medical marijuana dispensaries, cultivation, and infusion facilities. In 2020, Prop 207 legalized recreational marijuana statewide, and this is when Arizona municipalities began to amend local ordinances and codes to allow for recreational marijuana dispensaries. In 2021, the town adopted Ordinance 887 that allowed for dispensaries that have a dual license in the town, and in 2024, Prop 207 legalized recreational delivery statewide. Arizona municipalities then began to amend local ordinances and code to allow for recreational delivery. That brings us to today, where the request is to amend the town's code for recreational delivery. This is a table and a visual of who actually currently allows delivery in the state of Arizona. Yavapai County does allow delivery, and the dispensary that is in the county island does deliver, and they actually deliver within town limits. So we're at a disadvantage there because our tax dollars are actually going to the county instead of going to the JARS one that is in town currently. The Arizona Department of Health does have delivery requirements. They must be a licensed retail location and also a licensed marijuana facility agent. The vehicles are unmarked with GPS tracking, with video recording, and items for delivery are locked in a compartment. The product is tamper evident, child-resistant packaging with proper labeling, and delivery is via ID and only to the person who placed the order, and they cannot be left for pickup. So like Uber Eats or DoorDash, they just leave it at your door. You actually have to check an ID as is like you were buying alcohol or buying the marijuana itself. The proposed amendment is to remove these two sections in our town code. And we're doing this to align ourselves with the state regulations. And like I said, we're currently losing those tax revenues to the county. And we would like to have those tax revenues to the town because it's currently happening in our jurisdiction. And that's all I have. And I'll take any questions.
Staff, or council, we have any questions for staff? Basically, it's already happening in Prescott Alley. It's although it's a county island, but it's between, that's the Nirvana marijuana plant, correct?
Correct.
So for those of you that don't know, that's between Prescott East Highway and Starlight. It's a marijuana dispensary that is currently doing the same practice. So individuals are still getting the service in the town limits of Prescott Valley, and we're just not benefiting from the sales tax.
That's correct.
Thank you, sir. And again, it's aligned with state regulations.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Anything else? Can I get a motion? Oh, did I close the public hearing? Does anyone have a comment on this?
Yes.
Oh, come on up, ma'am. Ma'am, just please state your name and welcome.
Rose Moser. I live in Stone Ridge, and I understand that marijuana can be used medically, and I know people that have, and it has helped them through multiple different diagnoses and conditions. But to have it recreationally, no. The accident of many states from marijuana went up ridiculously. It went up terrible. The accounts of problems was exceeding, and I voted negative when it went to state, and I'm hoping that you'll understand that cops don't have enough time to mess with this. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Anything else, Mr. Norlock? I just want to be clear that we're not debating whether or not marijuana should be sold medicinally or recreationally here in Prescott Valley. We're just seeing if it should be allowed to be delivered in a controlled manner.
That's correct. And just real quick, we did reach out to Chief Ticer, and he did say that potentially cases of impaired driving may be reduced through the delivery. That way there's less people driving while doing this, instead of they're getting it delivered to their house.
Less people that are dependent on marijuana for maybe a daily use, they're not as likely to be on the road. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Council, anything else? Anyone else wish to comment on this out in the audience? And we will close the public hearing, and I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to read ordinance number 2025-962, amending Town Code 13-08-040C1F by title only on two separate occasions and place the same on final passage.
I'll second.
Clerk?
That passes 4-2.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ordinance number 2025-962, an ordinance of the mayor and common council of the town of Prescott Valley, a municipal corporation of Arizona, repealing section 10-07-050, marijuana delivery prohibited exception in article 10-07, recreational marijuana, in chapter 10 offenses, and amending section 13-08-040, marijuana uses in article 13-08 regulations governing particular uses, in Chapter 13 zoning of the town code to allow off-site deliveries of marijuana and marijuana products to customers and patients within the town, providing that all other articles, sections, and subsections in this Chapter 10 not herein amended shall remain in full force and effect, providing that if any provision in this ordinance is held invalid by a court of competent jurisdiction, the remaining provisions shall not be affected but shall continue in full force and effect, and declaring that this ordinance to be an emergency measure pursuant to ARS 19-142B and 2-5-060 of the Prescott Valley Town Code.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving on, item 11D, amendments Town Code, Chapter 16, right-of-way permits, ordinance number 2025-963. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council. The Town Code currently provides the town to maintain a comprehensive fee schedule for municipal services that are applied outside the town. The current fee schedule was approved by council on June 26th as part of the current annual budget. The proposal this evening is to update Code Chapter 16 regarding permits, and the sections that are included in that update will be sections 1601-15, which is definitions, which are basically self-explanatory. Section 1602-70, which is part of the offsite improvements, basically describes how permits are obtained and operated by the town. The proposal this evening to update the code expands the current code to provide more explicit direction for the operation of permits and for obtaining permits. One of the issues that we have right now is right-of-way use permits are operated by a different office than our building permits. So the proposal this evening is to combine that language in Chapter 16 so that all of the permits can be operated and maintained together, which is consistent with our strategic plan. So basically what we want to do is try to streamline the process through this update in the code. And the code will also allow us to apply that fee schedule to the right-of-way use permits. The goal right now is to implement that program by January 1st. And with that, I'll offer any questions.
This is a public hearing. I am opening it up for comment. Anyone wish to comment on this item? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Vice Mayor, did you have something?
Yes, I just had a quick question. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So currently, right now, if someone is going to request a right-of-way permit, they go through Public Works. Are you saying in the future with this change that it would go through Development Services or still with Public Works?
Correct. The development services, currently we have a permit desk. It's a big desk downstairs, there's permits on that. We've had a little bit of confusion with some applicants because they'll go down to the permit desk looking to apply for a permit and they're told they have to go to the Public Works office. So it's been a little bit confusing at times.
Great. Thank you, sir. See no other questions or comments? I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, make a motion to read ordinance 2025-963, updating Chapter 16 for right-of-way permit process by title only on 2 separate occasions, then place the same on final passage.
I'll second.
That passes unanimously.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ordinance number 2025-963, an ordinance of the Mayor and Common Council of the Town of Prescott Valley, a municipal corporation of Arizona, enacting Section 16-01-015 definitions and Article 16-01 general engineering standards and amending Section 16-02-070 permits and Article 16-02 offsite improvement standards, all in Chapter 16 public improvements of the Town Code for a public right-of-way permit, inspection, and plan review process, providing that all other chapters, articles, and sections of the Town Code not herein repealed, reenacted, or amended shall remain in full force and effect, providing that if any provision in this ordinance is held invalid by a court of competent jurisdiction, the remaining provisions shall not be effective but shall continue in full force and effect, and providing that this ordinance shall be effective 30 days after its passage and approval according to law. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now we're up to item 12. Anything for the good of the order that we need to discuss, council? Seeing none, thanks for coming out, everyone.